say good morning, Belize, and good morning, and how are you this morning?
It's now 6:30 here in our studios. Las 6 de la mañana con 30 minutos en nuestros estudios. Buenos días, good morning, Belize, and thanks for choosing love on a beautiful...
Yes, today is August.
Let's say for good weather, Mr. Troy.
True. You've been dodging. I've been here. You've been doing your thing. You've been doing your
here,
thing.
there, and everywhere. But good morning,
Yes,
Mr. Troy.
yes,
Today is what?
you were doing what love says. You were everywhere. 19th day of August.
Yes.
And it is a hump day, of course, for those persons who are keeping tab. It is a Wednesday. And if you're celebrating your birthday today, we say happy birthday. But first, let me say good morning to wherever you are throughout the length and breadth of this beautiful jewel of ours. Those of you streaming in the diaspora, you're missing out on fine weather. But we're certainly glad you could join us as well. And we trust that this morning's discussions are going to be engaging and informative. And of course, if you bought the Bolido, I'm told 11 is the number that played last night. 1-1, so that's a double, as they would say. 11 is the number that was drawn last night. If you won, well, congratulations. If not, we invite you to try again tonight. And a draw comes up right here on Love FM at 9:10 p.m. You got to be in it to win it, Chief. 11 is the number played last night, they say.
Buenos días, Mr. Troigab. ¿Cómo está usted esta mañana?
I am doing very well this
Contéstame
morning.
en español, Mr. Troigab.
No,
puedes?
I don't want to create no humor this morning, so
No quieres hacerme reír esta mañana, Mr. Troigab.
and answer in English. I'm like an interpreter for you.
Ajá. El número sorteado en el bolido, el número 11, el número sorteado en el bolido anoche. Right? Y si usted ganó, pues felicidades. Si no ganó, pues hay que probar otra vez, ¿verdad, Mr. Troigab?
Absolutely.
Solo así puede ganar jugando el bolido.
You got to play.
You got to play the bolido for winning.
Actually, as you talk about that, in the newscast, somebody, I find a little humor in the person that won the is it Mega Bingo? $292,000 they won.
Yeah, that was good.
It was in the news, and she
Congratulations.
She said she has a lot of friends now and a lot of boyfriends.
Just imagine.
she's loaded now, so people are coming. Remind me of the Lord Raven song when
Send that?
Yeah, when Tati won the lotto, when Tati won.
Oh, yeah. Remember that lottery song?
Yeah, I won the lottery.
Send this, send that. Send me a which
Yeah, so everybody wanted to be his friend. He had family he didn't know that he had. So that's what happened. So what you got positive for us?
Well, Mr. Troigab, I had the pleasure, honor, and privilege of being in Placencia on Saturday.
You're a lucky fellow.
Yeah, I was accompanied by my son Rene Jr. and my
Two
granddaughter Laurie. Right? But we attended a function held by the Rotary Club of Placencia honoring the elderly people of the peninsula. Mm-hmm. I think they selected the three communities, St. Bite, Placencia, and Riversdale. Those are the three communities that they selected. And it was a very nice time. I enjoyed every minute of it, and I was a guest speaker.
Oh, okay.
Right, and so I enjoyed reminiscing about Placencia, as you know. I fondly say all the time, and I could say it publicly because I fondly say that my mother and my father fell in love in Placencia.
Okay.
Right, and I think more than likely I was conceived there.
All right, Bamse.
I also have some pictures on my phone, right? Maybe I could send them to William a little later on. Of some old black and white pictures that my mother took of me on the beach of Placencia as a little baby, as a little boy sitting on the beach, you know, that sort of thing. At almost the exact spot where we were, like almost in the same vicinity.
Okay.
Right? So, you know, that's obviously being there and looking back at it as a senior, you know, it's a good reflection, right? I have two aunts living from my father's side. Kunchi, who was there, you know, I call her Mortis. Her name is really Mortis, but Kunchi, everybody knows Kunchi. Kunchi and Merlin. Merlin is in the U.S., but Aunt Kunchi was there, you know, and you know, like when I call her aunt. So as you hear, I say Aunt Kunchi, I say left out the aunt. So you know, you have to call her Kunchi. So she was telling me, you know, I sat next to her because I was happy to see her and to be with her, to spend some time with her. You know, oh, he make good guava jelly. Yes, man.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, he make, you know, you grow the guava there, you make a good guava jelly, and she is in her late 80s too.
Okay.
And she's doing well.
Okay.
You know. So she told me that she listens to me in the morning, Wednesday morning, and the quotes that I do. So he says she got quote. Well, he threw about 3-4 quotes at me, right? So I don't think she realized I was recording her.
Oh my.
At least one of them.
Oh, okay.
So I hope, you know, vexed me and reel up with me, right? So, but I want to play back one of them in her voice. wait, tell me, right? Because, you know, I took up my phone and I said, I can record this, one piece of this, right?
Momentum.
Aunt Kunchi,
momentous
or Kunchi,
occasion.
make a correct Kunchi, they give me some life advice, right? So here we go.
Never do hard work. You must always say you want to try. Never say out the word can. Otherwise they will leave you alone with your work. And where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a way, there's a will. I got to do it. You have to do it because you have to find a way to do it. You must sing my song.
You got to find a way to do it.
There's no others, but no, I just picked that quickly just now, you know. Where there's a will, there's a way. You got to find a way to do it.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
always say you'll try as opposed to can't.
So you try.
So there you go.
Never give up, you know. And if you really want to do it, you have the will to do it, then you'll find the way, right? And usually there's a way, but you need the will to find that way.
Absolutely.
And actually do it. So it's sort of blending there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and certainly it's important to always look back, because those persons came through many obstacles as well.
Oh yeah,
and
she has.
So I'm sure they have had their share of issues and had to elevate above and beyond.
But those who know her know that she never gives up. She keeps going and going and going and going and going and going.
Yeah, so you have to develop a strong will.
Yeah, she's very set in what she's doing, and she keeps going, right? You know, and like she said, where there's a will, there's a way. You know, and she always find a way to keep going.
Yep,
right?
Indeed.
Still at that age, he's still making guava jelly, you know.
Still.
With passion.
Yeah.
Try again. But I gave a bottle or two.
Oh, good. There, you lucky fellow.
But you know, but she's still making guava jelly and things like that.
Okay.
You know, one of them old Placentia tradition.
Yeah, guava jelly. Well, you know, always a good breakfast treat.
Yes.
It's 22 minutes to 7, Chief.
Yeah, we take the break and we come back. Open the lines. 18 minutes to 7 o'clock, las 7 menos 18 minutos en nuestros estudios. Buenos días, good morning, Belize. And thanks for choosing love on a beautiful hump day, Mr. Troy Gabb's day.
You say it,
I say it quite good, you know, Mr. Troy Gabb, because it's your day. And let's tell folks that the lines are open all morning.
So,
Imagine that all morning, to Mr. Troy Gabb.
whatever you say, you're the king
What
of
are we
the
going
hill,
on there? I do
top of the
something?
heap. No, you just put the song on.
Oh, I thought I did.
Yes, that's what you
Okay.
did. That's what you did. You're Placencia, visiting for the weekend, enjoying yourself there, possibly where you were conceived, you said.
Yeah.
Land of conception.
Yes, Mr. Troy
The
Gabb.
village of
Well,
conception.
my mother was the first rural health nurse sent by the then government of British Honduras.
So where you born? If you
uh,
conceived,
well,
you born a placenta?
No, I born on number 19 Tiger Street.
Oh, all right. The transfer in
Yeah.
around 9 months.
No. Actually, Nurse Anita Utley was my mother's friend, right? And so she had a practice on Tiger Street. You know,
Midwife, no?
Midwifery
Yeah.
a place on Tiger Street. And so obviously when it was time for me to come into the world, my mother and my father were living on Freetown Road or somewhere between. And so we were taken to, well, she went to 19 Tiger Street at Nurse Anita Utley's nursing home. And that's where I was born on All Fools Day 1950.
All right.
1st of April,
All right.
early morning, I was told.
No mistake.
Yeah?
It's the first.
I don't mind saying the 1st of April, 1st of April, 1st of April.
No, we made that we made that day what it is.
Right,
That
it
we
is
call
what
it
it
so. It's not anything that there's any serious facts to it or any truth to it. It's just something we as human beings or man came up with. Traditionally we call it some All Fools Day. So,
well, you know what am I joke with that, right? You know, when people say, "But you only fool," I say, "Yeah, I can excuse me if you want."
yeah.
I'm bad for the day.
There you go.
You know, that would be a joke.
That's a slap in the face.
Yeah, you know.
Indeed.
But in 1950 was also the year that the movement to independence actually started.
Yeah, so
You know?
you're as old, almost as old,
Yeah,
or older than
yeah.
the People's United Party.
No, I'm a bit younger
Well, yes,
than
but
the movement.
it was
the movement
January.
started on the 1st of January 1950.
Yeah.
When George Price, John Smith, Lee
It's
Richardson,
about 4
Philip
months
Golson,
older than you.
and Nicholas Pollard and someone else, I can't remember,
couple
took to
others.
the streets after a meeting held at George Price House on Pickstock Street.
Triggered by
By the
devaluation.
devaluation of the Belize dollar, British Honduras dollar, midnight 1949 going into 1950. And so when they heard that the dollar was devalued, right away, the 1st of January 1950, the whole movement started that eventually evolved into the political awareness and awakenings and what have you that brought the independence, both the independence of Belize. I know that you notice the flag have wreath around it. And there are 50
Scorn of
leaves. Yeah, but there are 50 leaves. If we got more than 50, it's not authentic. If we got less than 50, it's not authentic. It has to be 50 leaves. That's what makes that garland that goes around the coat of arms.
Right.
Because it goes to the year 1950. Right? 1950. So the symbolism is great. 1950 when the movement actually started on the 1st of January 1950.
Yeah.
Right? So... yeah.
Well, we're approaching that time, of course.
Yeah,
Independence, the 21st of September, and basically discussions of the flag and different things are going to come up. This is a time when people kind of create this sort of discussion about
whole
origin.
histories in that flag. It's one of the most, in my mind, one of the most significant flags that tells the story in the world. Right? It's the only flag with 2 human beings on it. Right? It's multicolored if you really look at it closely.
Yeah.
Right? Of course, the
multicolored.
predominant colors are the red and the blue. Right?
There's always arguments. Sometimes I hear some people having their own issues with it, wanted to be something else.
No,
because they believe that we tend to sometimes we find ourselves in a quandary. We tend to want to move away from our past, but many times we want to reflect about our past when we're trying to compare how terrible things are
See, we'll put up the
now
flag there,
versus then. So, people talk about the good old days, and then some people want to forget the so-called good old days. So we need to make up our minds.
Yeah, that flag design try was really submitted by the late Everald Waite and the late Ines Sanchez, right? One a former chief broadcasting officer and the other a former chief education officer. There was remember prior to that the People's United Party wanted to push us the blue and the white with the circle, right? And that was so it was put out to Belizeans to design to submit, and that's the one that was accepted by the celebrations commission and or the Independence Committee, Committee for the Independence of Belize. Let me get it correct, right? That was the one that was accepted.
Yeah, somebody said they're trying to get in.
They're trying to get in with them, but the phone on. I don't know
Maybe
the
his phone is working. It looks okay.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
And then, so that was that.
Yeah.
I can remember, Troy, that at the time of independence, I got so much memories of independence here. You
never did it for Independence Day, though.
Huh?
You never did it for Independence Day.
Well, Independence Day, I'm sick.
Crash.
I'm a crash because I tell you know the story, right?
Yeah, it doesn't tell me.
Because prior to independence, a lot of people didn't, because of the division, a lot of people didn't want to come forward, and I stepped forward, and I emceed almost every event. I would say I emceed about 80%, 70 to 80% of the events leading up to Belize's Independence Day, official events. And it was just too much. My body couldn't take it. And so the eve of independence, when I fell along ill and with fever and chills and shakes and all kind of thing, I was to be at the flag raising ceremony, and I was to be at Independence Hill when they were handing over the documents. I should have emceed that, the instruments of
I was there.
Yeah, but I was have been the MC, but I was at home trembling, and
I was there
in my bed, and crying too.
I went up too.
But I actually cried because I couldn't do anything.
Oh yeah, I got
what? I actually cried because I couldn't be around for those
two things. Because it rained just before
I saw them, I heard them on the radio, but I heard them crying.
I was there. I was
Love can I help? So I work so hard to do this thing and I can't get there.
Hello.
Yes,
morning. Yes, Mr. Osha.
Yes, good morning, Belize and host of the morning.
Morning, sir.
Osha. Yeah. I called to express concern about the cost of a resident on A8 Street in Port Loyola to receive water from BWS. Right? This is a hard-working single mother, and they sent her a bill for almost $3,000, $2,700 for the water main, and $285 for the connection. There is no way that the mother can find that kind of money. Secondly, A8 Street is one of the shortest streets in Port Loyola. It is between Toledo Street and Genosha Boulevard. Several families live on both sides of the street, at least 10 families. But what happened is that the street was not open. So I could understand why water said, we can't provide them with water because no street, no therefore we put them in. But now I went and I built the street. But now they are telling the customer that if you want water, if you want to be the first one to get water there, then you have to pay $2,700 for the water main, plus the $285 for the connection. Well, I understand the $285 for the connection. But I think that's not fair, because I opened 2 new streets in Arlington Drive Extension, and the people were having problem getting water before. But after I put these 2 streets there, WASA went in there and I put the water main on both streets. And since then, almost every week, people are signing up to get their water from the utility company. Okay. So the utility company won't lose. So if they invest to put the main on A street for the people, and then, all right, other persons there will connect up to the lines because that's why, like how the street open, now people want to develop their area. But if the first lady, I won't call the person name, if she goes and put the water main there,
Everybody
pay
are
the
connected to it.
$270 for the water main, then all the rest of residents on the street will just like piggyback on
Yes.
the payment that she made for the water main because the utility company will just connect the other people and right to the water main.
Yes.
Right?
That's what happened.
So I
Yes.
think it's very unfair. So I'm calling on WASA because I spoke to several persons about this thing. And then I told the lady, I spoke to them, go back and apply for the water. Then he sent me the bill and said, $270 to the water main, which all the other residents on the street will use. All right?
Yeah.
So I asked them to please reconsider that, man. And that thing is prohibitive that poor people are to deal with. Right? The people are to depend minimum wage. And again, it's unfair for somebody to pay $270 for a water main, and then all the other residents benefit from it. Right?
Okay,
Well, I
okay.
think I'm saying it wrong. If somebody pays $270 for the water main, WASA will be getting a free ride. Right?
Well,
Because
that's
then that
2,000,
person want to pay for it, then go
2,700,
connect the water. So all the
yeah.
rest is
2,700, you
available.
say? 270.
2,700. You were saying 270.
$2,700 for the water main.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what they want the
And
lady to pay.
285 for the
And
connection.
After they put in the water main, it's $285 for
Yes.
the connection. Well, I
Heard that.
understand the $285 for the connection,
Okay.
but not $270, not the $2,700 for the water main that all the residents on the street will benefit from. And people are waiting for the water main to connect to the thing. Because if one person say,
But how much?
if
But,
they
how much
keep
house you
water,
think? But how much household you think is on that AS Street?
at least 10.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then remember, once the road is there, people grasp the opportunity to develop their land. If you go to Arlington Drive Extension, now you're surprised how much persons on the build a house and connect up and get light and all kind of thing.
Okay.
I hope they look into it, man.
All right.
Thanks.
Well,
Yes, sir.
thank you, Mr. Osha. Well, I'm sure they're listening and they'll be able to respond, and hopefully they work out something, because at the end of the day, as I say, water is life.
Water is life, and water is we can't live without water, Mr. Trigan. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
Like you say,
yeah.
it's life.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those things that we're faced. If you're like the first one in the area, we see it with electricity. Sometimes you might be all the way to the back somewhere off the road or so in some area, and then as soon as you pay to get all the electricity run to your spot, then you start see other people getting connected along the way.
That's the way.
And then you kind of go like, but let me pay for all of this, and I don't own it. I won't be benefiting anything from it for the other people. Yes, I get the service I want, but the other persons who are benefiting, they didn't pay. They didn't make the investment I made.
And that has
Because technically, you are making an investment to just get your connection for the rest of the people as well to
That is
benefit.
so.
So what he says that the utility company getting a
I
free
understand
ride.
that only too well.
Yeah, because I've been in situation where I was doing the development in an area, and yes, in order for that business to be able to operate, needed to have electricity. But in doing so, after spending an enormous amount of money, other persons benefited as well. I mean, but thankfully it was a business where you could have kind of built in your recovery for it, no?
Yeah. Love, good morning. Hey, Rasa call him, Mr. Trigab.
Yeah. As we're talking, they said all our utilities have the same practice.
It's the
They
same
don't
practice.
even want the other customers to share the costs and refund the original investors. Real crazy. The truth is, they believe it's kind of
Let's see if we get it
parasitical.
now. Love, can I help?
Pleasant good morning to you, Mr. Rene and Mr. Troy.
Yes,
Morning,
Mr. Dawson.
Orlando Dawson, this is Cousin Half Moon.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Dawson.
I just like to raise a little concern as I heard Mr. Usher raise a concern about WASA. Well, I
Real
happened to
concern.
be at WASA, and I was very happy to see how they treat people. The people were very nice at that office. I cannot complain. But now I find one slightly problem. I have a water issue here where a lady bought a piece of land off me, and she wants some water to her house. The people from the WASA said, I need to show the document for the land, and I need to show some ID that either Orlando Dawson, right? So I send the land document, which the land documents is there in Orlando Dawson. My recent document becomes Emmanuel Orlando Dawson now because the Social Security Committee and the government preserve a new name for me now. I was Orlando and baptized Emmanuel Dawson all the way to the school. When they send back down, they say either Emmanuel or Orlando Dawson. So I had to change the passport, change every other thing to suit that. I don't make no fuss with the government because they run things. Now the young lady tell me, say, Mr. Dawson, the land say Orlando, and the passport and the other documents say Emmanuel Orlando Dawson. I tell them, what is wrong with that? He said, well, I have to get one JP to sign that either Orlando Dawson. Well, I want to tell you something. I hold on in JP where they wrong in place, yeah? So how they will know if either Orlando Dawson? If they sign something for me, either Orlando Dawson, then they lie. So then they encourage people to lie. Right? And WASA property, which is a WASA system, sit right on my property. They have purchased a piece of land out of me to put the system. And when we work out that agreement with WASA, they never asked me that Orlando Dawson or we Emmanuel Dawson. Everything got smooth. Now for a symbol, not symbol, but for a leave water to serve somebody place, then they got you back and forth, back and forth. I don't know if I should talk to some of the higher people there in the department. A few people used to know me there, but I don't know if the same people they are there now, because during the time of NAMCO, I was on the board when they set up this water system in the Belize River Valley. But that is the problem. They want to give a JP beside that Orlando. I want a JP, so if they say yes, then they lie because they never know me. I banned before them. Thank you. I want to listen to know.
All right, then, thanks. Well, what the JP would do is to possibly say that based on the if it's a passport, obviously there's a photograph, and they would say, well, I know this gentleman to be Mr. Orlando Dawson,
that's how I
this
know.
and this,
Yeah,
this
that's
picture.
what he is. Yeah.
And that is what they would be
Certifying
agreeing
that you are
to
who you
or
are.
signing to. Not so much that they would
Be
they
there,
would
yeah.
not be able to check your birth certificate and when you went in to register and all of that. They won't have any privy to that. But whatever data they put in, especially it's a picture ID, that then gives them some sort of comfort that they could say, yes, this gentleman
I
that
know
I'm
I've
seeing
known
here,
this gentleman for so many years.
yes, and I know him as
far
this
as I
name.
know, that's
the name that I know him as.
As,
and
yeah.
that wouldn't be untruthful if
Just tell the truth,
if
that's
that
all.
is what happened. Because that's the idea. What they want, at least one other person of integrity to kind of agree that you are who that ID say you are, so that they could say that this differentiation on the land title is just a mistake or an error. And so I am concurring that are the right person that I'm seeing, that you that is selling this land or own this land.
Yeah.
I don't see no difficulty there, Mr. Dawson. I think to help the buyer, let a JP sign it. They wouldn't be lying, especially with somebody who is familiar with you, because it's a photograph that they would be looking at. And I'm trusting that your photograph is as current as possible.
The JP is saying to the best of his knowledge, you are who you say you are.
Yeah.
Bottom line. As easy as that.
2 minutes after 7.
2 minutes past 7, we take the break and we come back.
Introducing GrowWatt, a global leader in distribution
It's now 9 minutes past 7 o'clock, 7 minutos en nuestros estudios. Buenos días. Good morning once again, Mr. Troy Gabb. I hope you're doing very well, Mr. Troy Gabb.
Yes, sir, I'm doing okay. At the top of the news, I think the discussion still continued a little bit with BTL. At top of the news.
Yeah.
The reality is that the government has said that they are not going to go ahead. They have rejected cabinet, i.e. / the government, rejected the idea of purchasing SpeedNet, BTL purchasing SpeedNet, where the government have the controlling shares, i.e. the government / the people. And so the union had a press conference yesterday. I get the point of the press conference. You know, I looked at the whole process. Because let me just caveat very quickly, because the whole union movement, and so I was a part of that back in the 90s, and so I was one of the founding members of the Belize Communication Workers Union at BTL. I was as head of the National Trade Union Congress. I came up through the ranks with people like Ms. Stroheke, George Fraser, Cynthia Pitts, Ms. B.D. Rabato, all of those persons, John Pinello, all of those persons were part of my executive committee at one point in time with the National Trade Union Congress. So I'm very familiar with the process. Yes, we never had social media and all the gimmicks we have now today in those days, but we had our share fight as well. I could remember having several heated meetings with Manuel Esquivel during that time, in particular, because during the time of my being at the helm, he was the prime minister. We had several issues. Nestor Vasquez was the chairman of BTL, again, another hard nut to crack. And so we've gone through that. I say all of that caveat to say, yes, I can appreciate the labor component. I will never have issues with labor and when it stands up for its worker, because I can empathize because I was there. So when I look back even at the BTL severance situation, I was there too when that whole thing switched in 1994, because that was a big fight. That wasn't no little ordinary situation when BTL decided to drop the severance and replace it with a pension. We said, no, that should not have happened. We said that was illegal from then. But they got their legal opinion and they stood their ground, and the government supported them along with the board at the time, and we got beaten into that. We weren't as open to the court system, and so in those days I never realized. And so thankfully for people like Irvin Marin and their team, that took the matter to the court, that changed the whole trajectory, and then people got compensated. I kind of put that in the envelope that we also have to look from the capital side of it, the business side of it. That I hear people calling for this one to resign, like the chairman and other persons, and I'm saying that those persons, from a business standpoint, also was looking through their lens to see what was best for them. And I always say that I came up in a time with BTL when it was a monopoly, so the issue of competition was never a big thing.
No,
we never had no kind of animosity with our next group, you know. So if I can take away as a management that particular component, and I can focus more on building my service, and I don't have to be worrying about a big marketing team and a sales team and all of the promotions I have to do, which is good for the media. That's the lens I'm looking through that. So if we know as a majority, the proposal comes forward and we say, yeah, we think it's a good deal, and you say no, well then no. The boss say no. When we check with the boss they say no, but even though we agree, but that's not because I did something wrong.
No, that's nothing wrong.
I didn't do something. Yeah. So
being straight up, I tend to see where you're going with this. Because if I'm running a business, I want to make sure I am the biggest.
Yeah.
Right? I want to make sure that if I have the ability as a businessman to do and push my business forward the best way I can, right? Nobody is perfect, and if you see that this is a way you can expand your business, expand your market share, get that competitor out of the way, and you have the wherewithal, and you do your maths and so, then why won't you want to go ahead with it? I'm not saying that I'm in favor or against. I'm not taking sides.
No. That's why I'm just looking at it. That's why I balance my discussion, so person don't feel like I drop out of the sky and come and talk about capitalism.
No.
On one side, I want to say to the union, I've been there, done that.
That's what most businesses do.
I've been there, done that. So I believe I can straddle both sides of the equation and discuss this thing in a far more pragmatic way.
Yeah.
As opposed to the emotions attached
emotions are different thing. I mean, if you get carried away by emotions, then...
So I'm trying people to understand I have a history with labor.
In reality, it is what it is. Hello, can I help?
Hello, good morning.
Yes,
morning,
Mano. Morning.
Yeah, good morning, Charlie.
Yes, sir.
That situation with Mr. Osha in earlier, no?
Uh-huh.
If he is, Minister of State,
yes, he is.
With the utility company, what do you think a normal citizen?
Mm-hmm.
He is the Minister of State in what ministry, right?
Mr. Osha, where is Mr. Osha?
I can't remember.
Ministry right now. He's attached to. Why I'm trying to say because they had switched around.
I myself might think that utility.
He was with sports and transport before the election, and so maybe his utility.
I think he done with utility.
Uh-huh.
Now as an area rep, I'm big up to him. He got problem, I bring it out.
Yes.
No problem with that. But I'm just showing you the difficulty regular citizens have with these utility company. The minister of state, no?
He's a minister of state.
Public utilities, energy and logistics.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, I think that problem with a utility company, you know? Because water fall on a utility. And you see the serious problem we have in this country with these utility companies, brother. Then people sick, guys. You go in there. For $2,000, you want to tell me one company like water will just raise water bill and the people can't go in there and put in the system so these people get water baths? When we talk about 10 families, a lot of people, you know. Because another 10 people are families that they talk about.
Yeah, at least 4
and
persons.
put in the service so the people ain't getting water. They're not bigger than the pay up for the service. Don't make back your money.
Yeah.
These people simple try. This is what they tell you in this country. You have to watch this like these people stupid when you really watch them.
All right.
I am not more development in the era because you're putting in necessary you're putting like people want to develop the era.
But again, like you say, you give him credit for making the level of representation.
Of course.
Politics and me and him not talk.
Uh-huh.
Me and him not go wrong there, me and him talk. So I give him credit for it. But I'm just showing you he himself got problem. And with the
it shows the independence of the authority. It shows the independence of the entity, you know.
Which goes against the grain. Sometimes we think that they manipulate.
Because BWS is the same thing like BTL that you were talking about.
Yeah.
It's the same system, right? You know, so it shows that these entities are very much independent. You know,
if
even though they're owned by government.
If the politician can't get his way, then it shows that it's what you want. But I understand.
The politician crash.
I understand.
Listen to me good.
I understand the business side. So we not argue.
Exactly.
No. I'm saying.
No, we do that. You can't find that help on the person.
Carla, I totally agree with you. I think if you listen to my response was that I had gone through a situation, but more from a business standpoint, I had to calculate my returns into the calculation for the expense that I had to because it was a business. But if it's a residence, I explain that you don't have the same ability to do so, to possibly calculate recouping that back and even to access that capital at that point in time. So I'm with you $2,700 for the average person is not
That
easy
for
money.
anybody, well,
Not for me. For me, $2,700 is hard for me to
That's
find.
what I'm saying. But I'm saying that you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, easy to find that.
Yes.
Especially if you live in the house from Mount Street.
You hit me with that when it's.
You don't like the water yet, 20 odd years.
$2,700 of
Yeah.
clean water.
Yeah.
That's not an
Yeah.
easy business, man.
This country that we live in,
And of course-
this is how it happened.
That's rough.
Yeah. You see, because the utility companies have to make a profit because they have shareholders, which are we the people, meaning the government and maybe SSB. I'm not quite sure how they're shareholding, but they have small shareholders too. So they have to make a profit. So they have to look at that whole process because there's a fiduciary duty. And this is what I'm going to pains to try to explain, Carla. So because oftentimes we are really in a quandary in terms of our own emotional psyche because we own it, but in order for keep it going, we have to pay to keep it going. 'Cause it wouldn't be kept going just on its own if we don't pay because that's what
it has its expenses.
yeah, that's what
You know,
all those
salaries, it's
treatment for the
everything.
water that we
Treatment,
supposed to
plant,
drink that costs money.
laying a pipe,
So
you know.
I love having this discussion, and I want us to have an open mind in this discussion.
I 100% agree with you, but I'm saying if you put in the necessary infrastructure and people start to develop the area, the company will make money.
I am not going to argue with
People
you.
will put in a water and pay your back.
I'm not going to argue with you.
That's
I-
the way you have to get.
I'm not privy to the
And
assessment,
these
but I wouldn't
companies,
argue.
I see
Yeah,
the
well-
other day, they cut out the lady fee, let them say.
And we have to hear what BWS is
That
saying
the
about the
number
whole
was
thing
there
too.
last night, no, 11 cents, they cut out the lady
I hope you win. I hope you win.
You whop me by one.
Oh yeah, because I know you're biased, so I hope you win. Well, but good to hear from me. I totally agree with you that we have to reassess those situations
I
because
think-
the city, we are expanding. We're still a growing nation. We haven't reached the end of our growth. You know, we're moving into areas that are what you call that was not inhabited. We heard the mayor say, you know, it's tough on me sometimes because the city is growing and then people move in areas where no street is and then they come and they say, I need to push through a street, which is exactly what Mr. Usher ended up doing.
Yeah.
Had to be creating streets because people were moving in
Moving in
areas
areas.
and populating those areas. And we are issuing land in those areas too. So when you issue the land in those areas and no infrastructure, which road is one of those infrastructure, water is one of those infrastructure, then it is a growing pain thereafter.
Just sure, just to put in infrastructure first.
Thanks,
But anyway,
Carla.
Thanks.
Appreciate.
Uh,
Yeah. That like I said, it's a matter of how trying to look at both sides of the coin and balance the equation. It's a balancing act because we're the owners and we believe that we're supposed to get the service. But then in order to maintain and keep the service going,
You have to pay for
we
it.
have to pay. So it's what is the best.
Well, that's why it's good to hear what the BWS would say, you know. I'm sure they
Because
have a
what
consensus.
normally you would go in and do, you do an assessment of the area and you would say, what would be my recuperation time? Like if I'm doing a development, a housing development, I would go into BL and say, listen, I would want electricity at this point here, and over time, you'll make back your money because I'll be selling 100 lots in this area, so you'll have 100 houses, and
But
so
you
they
will
may
still
look
have to
at
pay for the installation.
I might turn around and have to make a payment, but they might share it with me. Like I went through this process like with State Bank, negotiating with them because we had to negotiate for electricity, but they had to buy submarine cable to be able to get the power out to the island so that you don't continue to have to run on genset, which is not the most now. We have a lot of EV type equipment now that is coming on stream, which didn't exist back then when we were negotiating. But BL then says, okay, looking at what your consumption we project is going to be, we're going to do a 70-30 split. You pay 30, we were foot 70 of whatever the total bill is going to be. And so you put up your 30% and then we will bring the 70 and then we will make back our 70% investment by the usage that is going to be created over the next 10 years or so. That's some of the calculation that they put into
The cable-
coming up with these things.
No, put a leg now. The cable ever gone in?
No, because the owners start to
okay.
fight.
Okay, good.
The owners, they start to fight again. They start to fight amongst themselves, and Belize lose. As they say, when the elephant fight, they trample the grass, and we are always the grass. The people lose, and we're still stuck in litigation, and we'll end up with so whoever win will end up with rubble. It's a no-win across the board. I hope that cooler head will still prevail before it get even worse.
Yeah. Love, can I help?
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Mr. Gap.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. I just called because I got equipped to pick the chief.
Well,
Chief,
With all due respect, sir,
Chief,
that ad where you to play for Guatemala.
I
As I
play
believe
the people
that I
that.
really and truly feel disrespectful, and I know every lot of other people right now to feel the same. I ask you, as a true patriot, I believe, please, sir, please stop playing the ad for me. I know you fuel the commercial, right?
Yes, sir.
Please, not fair leave few more dollars do that, man.
Well, I think.
Just a beg you, as I
Yeah, you
believe
call
that,
her.
chief.
Here, we're not getting into no back and forth.
I'm not getting a back and forth with it
Yeah,
neither.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Paula.
that's
Thank
not
you.
intended to be no disrespect because hundreds of Belizeans go out to Melchor to buy every weekend, but another story.
Yeah, well, put it this
We have to
way.
live with Guatemala. It's our neighbor, and we have to live with it, regardless of whether we
I
like it or
understand
not.
the emotional side of
But
it.
I am very patriotic, and I could understand the emotion, so I won't say anything there.
Yeah, I will leave it at that for
Yeah.
right now. No, but we hear
I
you,
could
Paula.
understand it.
Yeah, I can hear you. Coming back to the situation of BTL. Okay, let's take the call.
Love, can I help?
Good morning, Dr. Rene.
Morning.
What's going on,
Dr.
Delroy?
Delroy.
Dr. Gilroy. Delroy.
By the way, I like to give full acknowledgement that the terms used together as one string, Dr. Rene and Don Troy, I borrowed that from Don Hector. He was the first one I heard.
Who is a doctor too?
Yes, in his own way.
Yes.
And then, while I'm talking about borrowing, let me borrow from our good friend Gwen, who is also a doctor.
Doctor.
Dr. Gwen.
Gonzalez.
Lot of doctor, including Dr. Fly.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Gwen Eunice is no Dr. Fly.
Yes. My old classmate when I started my PhD process as well. Gwen was there with me.
She's a good person.
Yes. So let me borrow from her because I saw she posted this morning on your show in the comments, in the remarks beneath. I saw her posting Buit Benafi Balisi. I hope my pronunciation is correct.
You're from there.
Buit Benafi Balisi. You know what that means, right?
No, help me. I know about it after me in the morning.
The Balisi is Belize.
Oh, Belize. Oh, okay. All right. Good morning, Belize.
Yes, so Buit Benafi Balisi. That has a flow to it. It's an alliteration, actually.
Yes.
So Buit Benafi Balisi. And the timing is right to say that more than ever, because as you guys were saying earlier, we're heading towards the national celebrations. Those are quickly coming upon us, and that is all our favorite time of the year.
Yes, it is.
Especially people like Dr. Rene,
Yes, sir.
who I consider to be the consummate patriot.
Thank you, sir.
You know, I used to look forward to hearing him emceeing the program, the official Independence Day program.
Oh.
I haven't done it for quite some
On
time.
that one of these days.
I've done over 30 years of that, so.
Yeah.
I've done over 30 years of that, Delroy.
I heard you recounting earlier. I wasn't even aware that you were not able to attend the ceremony on the first day of the first Independence celebration.
I got ill just before Delroy, after I'm seeing so many events leading up to our independence, all the Festival of Solidarity along with Assad Schumann, and traveling all over the country. Even got on threat one time, say if I get on stage, some this and that and catch me, you know, and we still go on stage, you know, still, you know, never happened, thank God.
I know when it,
you know, and that kind of thing, you know, but those were the days, you know, good days to relive, but Belize is, for me, is everything.
Yeah. You know, I have to say that twice. We know that when it comes to Belize and all that is good for the people and country that we call home, we know that that is always in your heart.
Yeah, and also I defend the freedom of expression and speech and what have you, you know, so I do that as well.
That's right.
You know, people
That's right.
to express themselves, you know.
Yeah, so let me take this opportunity, since we're heading towards the September celebration, to say happy September celebrations to all Belizeans. And if you might allow me, I just wanted to touch quickly on something Troy spoke about earlier regarding the whole matter that is high in the consciousness of Belizeans over the past few weeks. This matter of the proposed consolidation or the proposed merger of BTL and SMART. Now, I believe that when I look at the arguments being made, I can see the logic. I can see much logic in some kind of consolidation and merger where BTL and SMART is concerned. In fact, you will know, Troy, because I know you're very familiar with things regarding telecom, that BTL has over 180 cell sites countrywide, and SMART has just over 100 as well. Yet there are major parts of the country that you still can't get cell service because there is a lot of duplication. And so if we have some consolidation, one of the things I know BTL has been saying is that if they were able to go through with the consolidation, they would repurpose some of those cell sites from SMART that would have been duplicating theirs. And so clearly there would be some measurable benefits for the Belizean people in terms of the service offered countrywide.
You know, Delroy, as I hear you talking, my mind goes to villages like Halakten, the Toledo district, and some of those villages along the borderline that I have visited, by the way. You know,
I know you travel a lot.
Yeah, I've been to some of those villages, and the only telecommunication service they have, or the better is the Guatemalan telecommunication services. So they have to go through Guatemala and back to Belize to communicate, you know, and that sort of thing, you know. And
because one of the problems
that needs to be looked at too.
Yeah, because one of the problems with a country like ours is while you have a concentration of people in areas like Belize City and San Ignacio and so, there are areas of the country that are sparsely populated.
Right.
And then even though you have some communities out there were kind of large, the kind of geography overall, in order to reach those areas, it's very challenging. And that is why it has been such a challenge for both of the utility companies when we're talking about telecom. You know? In fact, indeed, the leader of the opposition herself in a press conference, and I don't want to quote her wrongly, so I had pulled the words from herself. She had said at a press conference that in countries with a population size that we have, I'm quoting directly from her here, in countries with a population size that we have, there is room for monopolies because we have a small market to serve. And that is why there is only one electricity provider, still her words, and that is why there is only one provider for water services. That's why there have been only one provider for telecommunications for so long until the private monopoly took full advantage of the people of this country. Those are her words, no? Okay. So I'm saying all of us can appreciate and see the logic in a country with our size of population, but with geographic challenges, that it often is better to have some kind of monopoly. I don't like to use the word monopoly because the word monopoly carries a negative connotation.
It's a consolidation.
So yes, you're saying, Troy?
Consolidation.
Yeah, I like the word consolidation because that, in fact, is what it would have been. And so, but that is my view. But I understand that in a democracy also, you have to capitulate to the wishes of the majority. And so if the majority of people aren't sold on the idea, then you have to do what the Prime Minister and his cabinet have done, which is to capitulate to the wishes of the masses. No?
Yeah.
In fact, that is, I don't know that any poll has been conducted, but based on the lot of noise, that seemed to be the deduction that generally people don't want it to go through.
Yeah.
But of course, that might have been because of others who have the pulpit have been able to convince the majority that it's not a good idea. You know?
Yeah. Like I said, whatever lens you're looking through, that's going to be how you view the circumstance, no? So I think I try to went to pains to kind of try to express that. But we got to go to break. We're kind of through the break time. So let's thank you, Delroy.
Yeah.
Thanks for your indulgence.
Well, thanks for calling, Delroy. And as you know, we allow here the free flow of information from both sides, you know.
That's right.
The information flow from both sides because you believe that a Belizean can make up his or her mind for himself.
Yes, sir.
You know, or herself, right?
That's right.
Thanks.
So once you put the facts out there, that's it. That's what we're here for. Thanks.
Absolutely. Muito bem, Balisi.
Yes, same.
We gone.
Right. It's now 35 past 7. We take that break and come back.
Light to moderate easterly airflow will support generally fair conditions. The 24-hour forecast for Belize and her coastal waters calls for sunny skies today with a few cloudy spells, and high temperatures today are expected to reach 89 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, to 94 inland and 82 over the mountains. Tonight, the skies will be partly cloudy with low temperatures of 82 along the coast, to 74 inland and 68 in the higher elevation. Showers or thunderstorms will be isolated. The wind will blow from the east at 10 to 15 knots and the sea state will be light sharp. A low tide will occur at 9:37 this morning, a high at 3:50 in the afternoon, another low at 8:27 tonight, and a high at 2:39 a.m. The sun rose at 5:36 and will set at 6:15. The moon comes up at 11:47 this morning and set at 3 minutes past 11 tonight. The outlook for Thursday and Thursday night is for similar weather conditions to prevail. In the sargassum forecast, there is a high chance that more sargassum mats could drift ashore, producing moderate to major impacts over coastal destinations across the country during the next few days. And in the tropical weather outlook, no tropical cyclone formation is expected near or over Belize and her coastal waters during the next 48 hours. And that's your morning forecast that was prepared here at the National Meteorological Service.
It's now 16 minutes to 8 o'clock, las 8 menos 16 minutos en nuestros estudios. Buenos días, Mr. Troy Gab, ¿cómo está usted?
I'm doing very good. I'm doing very good, Chief. Yeah, before the break, we were talking a little bit at the BTL situation. Understandably, that the matter is dead. Once
Well, we're going to talk about it,
so,
not because it don't happen.
yeah, it won't happen.
Bottom
So,
line is it
no,
happening.
let's look forward. Is that looking forward now?
That's it.
As it from a consumer standpoint, you always look forward to competition because you believe that is going to improve service and drive down costs, your prices to you, the consumer. And BTL has been, I think it's Rene Trujillo had pointed out like one of these abused persons, because it's always been about BTL. Whenever there is this huge flare-up, it has BTL within the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
We see back in the Said Musa era, coming forward, Dean Barrow had his issue. So every single administration, seemingly during the 90s, BTL has been one of the core issue, golden share problem. So we went through all of these things already.
Yeah.
Love,
can I help?
Good morning, my brother.
Morning,
to the
sir.
show, buddy. To the show. Thanks.
Morning, sir.
Morning, sir. To the show.
Yes, sir.
Oh, let me think, and I go through the process.
Which process are you talking about?
When you call the receptionist, you call it, pick it up.
They didn't ask you your name. I just put you through to the studio. Right, because...
Anyway, good morning.
Morning.
Mm-hmm. General.
Yes, sir.
The General.
Who is General Troy?
No, him assistant.
No, man.
Not,
No,
what
General.
after the General? Assistant General? Who you go?
So
No, I
peace.
forget round. Come on. Yeah. I listen to Delroy. Very good delivery. But the last words you tell her that something like that you that love allows freedom of information from both sides.
Yeah.
Meaning you have two recognized sides.
Well, it could be three.
Yeah, but now with
It could be
the
four.
tourists, my friend, a non-political independent mayor, there are now several sides. But I'll never call for that.
Your side too?
You're good. You and you know the way remind me. I try and the good the well called English. Very good in English. I still try. Yeah, but for this city council, I wonder if they will have one mayoral candidate. And I would want to make one legal clarification. Another campaign, I just deal with information. You're saying we get accustomed that you vote PUP or UDP or the other party. But let me say this much for the good information of the general public who go vote. Listen, the act says that the 10 the 10 persons that get the highest vote with the mayor that you vote separately, you form the council. There is nothing but vote PUP or vote UDP. The act not tell you nothing about party. It tell you about persons. That's how they affect we. Because the red or the blue, or the red or the blue, and the act say you go vote. It say that the 10 persons with the highest vote, all right, and the mayor form the council, and you work in accordance to the act, no accordance to the party, because the act support and preserves the tax economy, the tax collection. And I want to mention something here very briefly. Again, this is one idea that came up. Somebody told me this morning, you and Carl, listen, say this. Well, I learn by pooling of ideas. From Burton Creek Bridge to how the place name Yeah. From the gas station there. Today. Or before that, how the place name when you go to Belmopan on left were popular.
That's your story.
Yeah, we're probably talking about the boundaries of Belize City. You're talking about Halowa Bridge.
No. How the place name on the left where tourists go, very popular. I forget the name.
Tell us story.
Anyway.
Tell the story, man. I don't know what you're talking.
1 mile before you reach,
No, you bring it up, man.
quarter mile before you reach the bridge. From either they travel from San Ignacio to
Beach.
there
you go.
No, it reminds me of the Northern Road, the path there.
Hey, you tell the story.
You think the person said, tourists, I would want to say, or I feel the person say, that if you drive piles, then you concrete it, that one expense for life. It sound good, not true? So, I said I will mention it. No, so I promise I will mention it. You know, that's all I'm calling for this morning, my friends. Thank you very much.
Good.
Okay, thank you too, sir.
Yes. The issue, going back to what we are, is that the discussion has to be, everything has an economical background in terms of it should be founded in economics. I'll give you an example, and you don't have to respond. This was my view. Back in the day when the BCB was being dismantled, you probably bought a lot of old equipment and so that you didn't need. But you just had to buy it because you had to make sure that there's nobody else that would be able to get it to compete against you. So you might have bought things that you consider to be obsolete, to be duplicated, and what have you. And you may have had to pay extra for something that was at premium price and you paid for things that you didn't need. So, but you did that because that had value to take it out of the equation.
That's right.
Right? So I'm saying if I was sitting down at BTL, I say I want to take then 100 towers out of the equation and put it in my equation.
I only have me later.
Even though I might only have need for 15 or 20. Yeah. So then I will have to figure out what I do with the rest of them. But I already see where my benefit is going to come, because when I look at the cash flow, when I look at what my marketing cost is going to be, my advertisement component is going to be, all those savings that I'm going to derive from not having to do that now, I'm saying this is going to be worthwhile for me. And this is looking through that particular lens. Now, the other persons on the other side are saying, well, I don't want a monopoly because I believe that it won't give me the best prices. I don't believe that we should make the spend. I like it to know that we have two. The media is saying, boy, if you take Smart out of the equation and BTL trim down its advertisement, it's going to impact on me as well. I don't have a problem with that either. And so I'm saying that the discussion for me was nice and robust.
Of course.
But I felt that BTL could have done more on its side in its early justification. In the early days of the discussion, they could have brought their position in a much more robust discussion from a business standpoint, and then have that be able to meet labor up front, because really and truly it's a capitalist situation and a labor situation.
Right.
The BCB wasn't saying they were against it, They were saying, just give me some information that makes it economically good for me.
How can I help?
Pleasant good morning, Troy and Chief.
Yes, sir.
Pleasant good morning, gentlemen.
Pleasant good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
All right, I just wanted to quickly chime in on the discussion in regards to this morning, and having residents get their water connected. I must say that I live in the area of Belize City, outside Belize City, Vista Del Mar. Everybody familiar with Vista Del Mar community, right?
Yeah, I am.
All right, popular community built up from some years back. And so
it was a development.
I recently invested in my own home, I recently invested in my own home for my family in Vista Del Mar, Mantari Boulevard, a boulevard that is established. Which have been on post, a middle of the street. Everybody know about that boulevard there. It was shocking to find that upon completion of my home, applying for the essentials, light, water, and of course internet, I was able to get my light, was able to get my internet, and BWS came and did their assessment. They said, no problem, I get water because I know the person will live right side of me, but the boulevard have water. Only for BWS to come to me and tell me that they cannot give me the water because the main did not finish, they did not complete the main all the way to the end of the boulevard. Now, in front of me is a Seventh-day Adventist church. A church, they don't have water. At the end of the block, there is another house. They have water because it's coming from the other street. So it just goes to show about infrastructure in this nation. Now, I put in one request. They came and did their assessment for a residential home. They look at me in my face and gave me a letter asking me to pay some $28,000 to install water at my premise for a residential purpose. That was outrageous. Needless to say, I made calls to various people I know at BWS. I even reached out to the minister in the area for assistance, met her personally, and said, yes, they're looking into it to me, only to not get anything done. I've been living there for almost 2 years now, and it has not changed. I have to be begging to get water from a neighbor to get things done. To be living in a society where we're trying to encourage Belizeans to invest in themselves and their home. Not investing in my home. How can I find 20,000? They came back afterwards, or a year after they came back, I brought it down to 14,000 because where I live, there's a cul-de-sac on that, beside me that other people are building a home. They have to be putting vats and things in the yard because BWS refuse to invest in the necessary infrastructure. Gentlemen, this is the society that we're living in, that people are being frustrated. It's frustrating to try to do things the right way as an individual, only for the water company, essential service, to be putting on the burden of our people a bill of $14,000. Now, since I've been moved at a location, 2 other families have moved in. And we're trying to come together and tell me, make we try come together to see if we could make this together. Because what happened, because I came first, they wanted me to build the entire cost of the infrastructure for the whole area. So anybody will come after me or moving back at me, they might enjoy the water for this basic connection fee, and I might have to bear that cost. Like you mentioned, Mr. Choi, I'm not a business person. I am a residential person. I have a residential purpose. And that, at that time of my initial investment was far too much for me to bear. And as such, I said, this is the system that we're living in. So I'm asking you guys, where can we go to, because it's still in existence where I'm at? The church on the other side, building a new church, they cannot get water still yet because BWS refuses to invest in infrastructure from years ago. If they had done the right thing and completed the infrastructure completely to the end of the boulevard, we would have been able to connect and pay our water.
I'm familiar with the boulevard, Yeah, I would have thought that entire boulevard would have had water because for years they had the lamppost in the middle. It's a very populated area. Yeah, leading to the Vista del Mar road coming in, no? Is that it, right?
Correct, that's it, Brother Troy. That's it, of course. And that's why I say it's frustrating for Belizeans, the average, and we see how average Belizeans trying to do the right thing, trying to build your house, trying to do the right thing, basic necessity. Water. You're being denied access to.
Well, we will stay tuned for whatever response we'll get. I'm sure.
I'm sure they will have some kind of answer.
Response, and hopefully that matter can be resolved with your situation as well as the other one that Mr. Osha spoke about this morning.
I would just want to add that it's so sad that even the chair, I believe the chairman of BWS, he lives in the area. Back in Vista del Mar, he lives in the area. It's very disheartening to see that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Because, like I said, we don't want it for free. We want to pay. If it was even bring it down to a reasonable amount that we could pay, but that is just far too much for the citizen or residential person to bear the brunt of burden for infrastructure.
That's true. It's tough. It's tough for everybody.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks, caller. Appreciate the call.
And the last point I wanted to make, caller, guys, one last point I wanted to chime in on. I know you're discussing the acquisition for BTL, and I just wanted to say one point. While we understand that from a business perspective, the buyer competition will seem far away easy, we all know in regards to the personalities behind the deal who will benefit from this deal. And as such, I believe that is why a lot of people have a difficult time in terms of having this deal done so easily.
Fair enough.
One of the biggest problems, like Troy, you mentioned it, and you're an economist, and I believe I myself to be an economist as well. I believe that if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. We will not have a problem acquiring or purchasing smart if we're certain we're getting value for money, but the documents and the data to show that is not being presented to the populace. Not being presented, and as such, That is why the people have made their stance, and of course, 49% government owned. That's the people money. They invested over 500 million in a detail. We want to ensure that we're getting value for money. Such a big step was made, and the documents weren't presented, and as such, the people have spoken.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
And I think that
Thanks, caller.
that's a fair comment. Thanks, caller. Yeah. And I just quickly before the break, as the caller pointed out, is that there's always the other side. You look at it, and there's the emotional side. There's political that is tainted.
Emotional,
he talks about the personalities
religious,
involved.
Personalities.
And so, and that's why I try to say in my opening for those persons who were tuned in, I kind of lay the foundation about my background initially as well, so that we don't get they don't believe that I'm one-sided. That I was on the side of Labour in my earlier days. I can empathize and understand the discussion and how you look at issues to try to counter them. And I'm looking from the business standpoint. And I also pointed out that in the early days, if the information was forthcoming in terms of establishing, because there was a lot of speculation, and even ourselves had to do a lot of speculation to kind of justify the business sense of the whole process. And that's where it boils down to. But there is also the side of the competitive environment to reduce that competition. That's also an economic theory that can be applied oftentimes to take out your competition so you control the market, then you could be the price setter and not wait to be regulated in much instance. But in this case, there's also a regulated industry. This situation right now, BTL is capped until 2028. I don't know if that holds true now that how the deal is not going to go through. I thought maybe that was put in place there because the deal, with the anticipation that it would have been a closed or monopolistic situation, and so a cap was done to create a sort of smoothing of the waves that people were concerned about. One of the things was pricing, that BTL can gouge me because we're the only game in town, I have no choice. And so there was a cap put on their rates up until the end of 2028. I don't know if that still holds true. And if so, then PUC should tell us again, when you don't put the information out there, you create speculation.
Who get the information out first? The one we usually...
Yeah, and I'm saying to me, these were not hard, because at the end of the day, I could stand behind a business transaction if I have the necessary data to support. I can say very clearly, you were in your right sense back in the late 90s to try your best to take up all the equipment, even though they were relics. Some of them were relics, but somebody could have put those two wires together with an antenna and start to compete against you. And this is a business.
Of course.
And you're competing for listenership, you're competing for advertisement. And you wanted to make sure that at minimum...
Advertisements are the lifeblood of any broadcasting industry.
I think the caller pointed out, one of the earlier callers made that point very succinctly clear, that he recognized that.
Because without advertisements, we can't keep the lights on, we can't keep the transmitters on, we can't keep...
And we can't keep this broadcast.
We can't keep this broadcast, we can't have you here, we can't have nothing.
You see that?
Advertisements pay for the whole thing.
You see that?
Right?
So we have to be grateful.
So we have to be grateful for those who choose to advertise using our services. Because that is how we are able to serve you. That is how we are able to allow you to call in and pass your message freely and openly, because there are people who believe in us and entrust their advertising and promotion to the services that we provide. So, but without that advertising, then it's
not possible.
It's not possible. You can't pay the bills.
3 minutes after 8, Chief. I guess we have to go pay some bills.
That's right, and we'll come back.
Easy.
Well, it's 7 minutes past 8 o'clock, las 8 de la mañana con 7 minutos en nuestros estudios. Buenos días, good morning, Belize, and thanks for choosing love on this beautiful
Hump day, hump day, hump day.
So make sure you wake up,
wide awake, wide awake. No bushy tail, but wide awake.
Yeah.
Bright-eyed.
Where the phrase come from, Mr. Trigab? Bright-eyed and bushy tail.
I don't know. Must be a squirrel they were talking about.
Yeah.
Squirrel have bright eyes, right?
Bright eyes and bushy tail.
Yeah, the squirrel have and very twitchy.
Yeah.
Very
Good
energetic.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chief. Good morning, Mr. Next man.
Mr. Next man. Mr. Trigab.
Yes, sir. Mr. Next man, I'll take that.
Forget the name.
Go ahead.
I don't be calling to get into with this BWS thing, no?
Uh-huh.
I got my house in a Fabas Road for the past 25 years. This is between Penn Road and Fabas Road. So you have water along it. I applied for water from BWS to know for how long, and then tell me that I can't get water. Then give me one thing that I have to pay $8,900. When that to put the water connection. Ask me when I put that, they want to hook up all the rest of the neighbors where they're wrong on the same line, and I know they get back no compensation. I really not think that that's right.
Okay.
I really think that BWS is supposed to put in infrastructure, because you have people where they full up, people where they look for bill up, and what happens if I have to go pay all the money, then I can't get through to the other neighbors then, because then they get water pass through other people yard. I mean, one water line get through the yard where I got my house, and then still they tell me that I can't get, because then your meter have to in somebody yard, yo. They can't give me water, so I don't know what the BWS problem, but I think they really have to get their act together, man. Because I don't want a retired person or a retired single woman.
Okay.
And I can't get no water.
Yeah, nobody needs
Yeah.
So I really don't know what that is. I really don't know how to go about anymore to go get the water.
What's your street name? Just for
Yeah, the extension is Custard Apple Street. I have to say
Custard Apple.
Okay.
Custard Apple Street.
Okay, just so that they're listening, and at least they
between the Inner Penn Road and Fabas Road, they buy go for about this build up the house.
Okay. Okay.
Then call Bootsville.
Boots in the area.
I really need water in that area. They mean.
Okay.
Everybody else come. People got their meter way up the street. When they could get water, but the full part is that water line that pass through my yard. No, if I get it, then tell me that I have to make them disconnect them people water. I can't go do people that kind of thing, man. And I know that people where they struggle and they fight and live in the same way.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I really can't go disconnect people water like that, so just because they pass through my yard.
Well, I hope they look into it very quickly, so that you could they could find a solution, no? Because I believe everything has a solution. It's just a matter of working through the process and wanting to fix it or solve it. So they're listening, and that's why I asked the address, so at least if they want to zero in on assisting, they know where to focus, Okay.
I need water in that area, man. I need water in that
Thank
area.
you.
Okay, sure.
Thanks, caller. It's out there now. Okay, well, we hope that, that's like three issues, three persons that have that same issue that they're experiencing in three different areas of the I would say the district, the Belize district right now.
Nice
One of them
get
is in
a
Ladyville.
statement from BWS as well as what they
Yeah,
do.
absolutely, yeah.
That would be good. I mean, we'll be happy to hear that,
Yeah.
Love, can I help?
Hi, good morning, Rennie and Troy.
Good morning.
I have a similar concern as those who have called before in regards to access to potable drinking water.
Okay.
I live in the 8 Miles community, or beside the 8 Miles community off the John Smith Road.
8 Miles community.
8 Miles west.
Okay.
And it would be just across from where the 8 Miles community is on the right-hand side going through the John Smith Link Road.
Okay.
We have about maybe 15 to 18 people who have actually built in that area.
and they don't have any access to potable drinking water. I actually is building a house that is about $500,000 to justify out that I don't have access to drinking water.
Oh.
So the person who actually owned the community, what he did was to actually start to run pipes and put meters and so forth. And he had to physically bar the water from BWS to actually give out to members within the community itself. So when I learned of that situation, I decided that I would get in contact with BWS to find out what is the reason why they are not able to actually get access to potable drinking water. Their response was that the main line from which the water is fed from is like almost half a mile or so from that community. But yet, the 8 miles community that is PP's is just right across from this community, and every single individual in that community have access to potable drinking water. Now, I'm not seeing what is the reason as to why water can't come across the road to the community. So I've spoken to the developer. He said that he had met with BWS many times to actually come to a resolution. But BWS wants him to pay $250,000 for him to run the water.
You're on the Western Pine side? Is that side that you're on?
The Western Pine side, but across the Western Pine side, in a community that is called Meadow Landing.
Okay.
Right? So my thinking is, why would they want the developer to pay almost $250,000 to do the work that they are supposed to do? BWS has a fiduciary responsibility to ensure that every single citizen have access to potable drinking water. That's an SDG goal. That's all right. And it's the responsibility of BWS to ensure that we have access to water. So now I've actually spoken with the Minister of Public Utilities and said, man, Minister, let's see how we could actually work something out to ensure that people behind me have water. Where I am currently living, we pay like about $40 for our water bill. Because of the developers help with ensuring that we have access to water on the site, that same $40 turns into $240 a month. In some cases, we are paying $400, $500, $600 for water a month. That's not sustainable.
Yeah.
So just like the other...
What's the size of your community right now? What's the size of the community or the
so
expectation?
We have about 15 to 18 houses there.
Okay.
But I'm saying that the road runs that separated two communities, CP's community and this Meadow Landing community. On the left-hand side, you have access to potable drinking water, but on the right-hand side, there is no access. And I think it's a little bit kind of disingenuous and unfair for BWS wanting the developer to pay $250,000 for them to run the water to that community when water is just across the other side. Yeah. So as I said to you before, we've spoken to Minister. Minister, I agree with you. You shouldn't have to go through this. So let's see what we can do in terms of actually trying to bring BWS to the table and Mr. Penner, who's the developer of the community, to the table, because we must can find an amicable solution. And the citizen, the end users, should not have to punish as a result of this two giants or two elephants fighting, man. I think personally that...
So where are we now? Are you waiting for feedback?
Well, no meeting has been called. I've done all the legwork in terms of communicating with the minister, communicating with BWS, communicating with the developer. But I am suffering every time I wait, and all the other residents in the community are suffering. And we're not building no small houses. The houses that we have there, mine, as I told you, is over $500,000. So now, if I had known that this was what is going to happen, then I would not have made such a big investment in our community. But I was under the belief that the fiduciary responsibility of BWS is to ensure that every single citizen have access to potable drinking water. That's a right. That's a basic right.
Yeah.
You understand?
Okay.
So I think something needs to be done. The alarm has been sounded by several different people who are calling about the same complaint. There are many, many, many more people who don't have access to water. So BWS had to do something, or the government will have to force them to come to the table or decrease the amount of money they are asking for water to be run to these communities.
Okay.
Fair enough. Ridiculous.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I mean, you're not being unreasonable. You understand there's a cost, and you basically said, but let's be a little bit more considerate under the circumstance. It's a tough situation that we constantly are plagued with, and like you said, hopefully we'll get some sort of a comment, because you'll get quite more of these things happening, because Belize is expanding.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, you were talking that
that there should be some solution for the problem that we have with water system and also electricity.
Yes.
Because electricity, to get electricity in, it costs nothing under $3,000. No poor people can afford that. But don't you think the main thing is legislation? Don't you think the government should be the people who pass legislation that will affect or control this area? The company itself cannot answer those questions. Only government can. All right, another thing is,
Just to say, Carla, that yes, these utilities are regulated and they come under the auspices of the Public Utilities Commission that will determine how and what they charge. So I just wanted to say that the regulations are there that governs them.
And also go on the public
well,
margin,
maybe it needs better regulations or maybe some new ones, because those ones are affecting us so badly.
Okay.
Something needs to change in the area of legislation.
They say, so just quickly, somebody texts me and says, all developers know when they are doing any subdivision, they need to install all utilities and infrastructure and include the cost of the land, include it in the cost of the land. Purchasers buy cheap lots to springboard and end up in these situations. I'm just calling.
Anyway, another area is...
That's a point.
I
I'll a story.
I heard people passing comments. You can hear it on the street and whatever it is, that Ashcroft is a bad person. I don't see him as a bad person. I see him as a good businessman. But he hires or owns the few best talent in Belize. Those are the people who do the bad things for him. The few talents that he hires here. And if you sell Ashcroft a horse, when it had on a saddle, he will take your saddle too. He is looking for stupid people to deal with, and he's constantly finding them in both governments. He will be on top. So once you sleep with him, you are going to get it. If you know you're not smart, keep him away. But he is not a bad person. He is just a good businessman. Another thing, I mean, this is in the past, but up to now, I don't know who was selling Smart, and I don't know who was buying Smart. The only person, probably somebody was selling it with their left hand and buying it with their right hand. That's how I see it.
All right, then.
The only person that has owned up to it so far is Mark. Well, if he has owned up to that, only he alone, then he should suffer the consequence. That's as far as I see it.
Thank you.
Thank you for it this morning.
Thank you, Carla.
Well, you say he sees it. No?
Somebody who I believe should know that. Remember earlier I asked when the rates for BTL was capped until the end of 2028, whether or not that still would remain in place. Now that the deal is dead, they're telling me that is still in place.
Still in place. So it won't be lifted on the deal.
No. So it remains
in place. Okay, very good. Love, can I help?
I trust the source.
Gentlemen, I have one question for you and Troy.
Yes, sir.
I keep on hearing all claiming to be patriots and talking about patriotism, and I want to know what happened to the late Honorable C.L.B. Rogers. Nobody talk about him with all his contribution he has done for the country and for black people. Would you be kind enough to shed some light on that?
No problem, sir.
No problem.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
C.L.B. Rogers is a great minister. I worked along with him.
His son calls us all the time.
Yeah, I worked along with C.L.B. Rogers.
Quite often. Caller, if you're a regular listener, his son doesn't miss an opportunity to give a lot of bouquet to his father. And of course, like Rogers Stadium was named after CLB.
Well, one of the important things we don't give him credit for.
We do bring him up in our chief, but sometimes. Okay, go ahead.
Basically, is that he was the first person to address the United Nations Committee on Decolonization, about the independence of Belize.
Mhm.
He went there and delivered an address advocating for Belize's move to independence, you know. So he and then he was very an active supporter of our independence, right? He was a very down-to-earth person, very, you know, if he makes a mistake, he can tell you he make a mistake, you know.
And you worked with him.
You know, I worked with him, so I know.
Yeah.
I knew him very well.
Yeah.
You know, and as a matter of fact, when I became chief broadcasting officer, he was the minister of broadcasting.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. Love, can I help?
Good morning. My name is Ann, and I'm calling from Los Angeles, California, regarding the duty that these customs people are charging Belizeans from America for things that they're sending down there that cost. The duty is costing excessive amount, more than the item costs us here. Then we have to pay to ship it. You know, it's ridiculous. And I was wondering if Prime Minister Briceño is aware of what's going on with these custom officers giving you a receipt for $400 when they charge you $1,000. It doesn't make sense to us. So, you know, everybody's getting a cut from this, and the poor Belizean, poor people are suffering. Ridiculous, and, you know, something needs to be done about these custom officers charging ridiculous prices for these items that we're sending down there. You know, we're trying to move down there, we're trying to build a house down there, and you know, charging us these exorbitant amount of money just to take out an item. I sent a 3-piece sectional couch. One section, the total item cost me $1,094.49. They're charging me $1,000 just to get the item from there, when it's only one piece, which would be about $500. So I don't understand, you know, what they're doing. It's ridiculous, and Briceño, Prime Minister, needs to put a stop to this. And instead of collecting cash, they should have a credit card machine to take these transactions. Why is cash being going from hand to hand? You know, that's why the money, you know, Belize is borrowing so much money from foreign countries, because Belizean custom officers are taking the money. It doesn't make sense to us over here.
Okay. Thank you, caller. Let me first
Custom
say...
duties, Mr. Troy.
Let me first say that generally most custom duties are asked to be paid through a bank transfer. There's very few transactions with customs that should be done in cash. It's normally something that you would pay via a bank transfer. If you're using a broker, they know full well how to go about making the necessary payments. Now, if you're a retiree wanting to move back to Belize, there's a program that you could apply for through the Belize Tourism Board. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to be misquoted, I think the program is called DRIP. It's an acronym for whatever it is. It allows you that you can bring these things in to resettle I think duty free. And so you're allowed that at least once when you're coming in. So if you're retiring and you're sending home your items to set up yourself, you should apply under that program, and that is how you can benefit from that. In terms of actual duties and what they charge, well, that's a matter of looking at the invoices, because normally duty is charged on invoice.
Yeah.
So you provide an invoice. I paid so much, and then there is a table or a schedule
that they go by.
That they would go by, and so that would give you an idea. You shouldn't be paying anybody in any cash. And if you paid $1,000 and got a $400 receipt, you should not leave where you came from.
No, that's not correct.
That if you're making that claim, I'm not saying that is so.
Yeah.
But the caller made the claim, and I'm just saying that is not how it should work.
Receipt for where you pay.
Exactly.
Love, can I help?
So don't leave the counter.
Yeah, well, I call back, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I love the input from our people.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about.
It's talk to the whole government accountable. Because you see the problem where people have. This is some serious problem people have in this country.
And this is the only way some people could vent their frustration on the morning show. I call the morning show, I take my leave money, put in credit card. Me don't know about the regular money. A lot of people say, boy, the waste of money, nobody hear it, but people hear it, people they listen. People have to respond, but people they know where to talk about. Look at the water situation. They asked for an increase in water rates so they could do expansion throughout the country. So do the expansion, boss. People need water. The more expansion on the do, the more money on collect, get back the money. Like people don't pay, get it back, but you have to invest to make money. You have to put in infrastructure for the people. Watch for a lady back at the Farmers Road there, whenever I tell about 20 odd years. You know that 20 odd years somebody fight to get water. You know got a conscience to say, Lord, man, that 20 odd years, make I get the lady water. Lord, my brother.
Okay.
You think that joke for you go through this? Me and you are try all right, we turn on, we pass it in our house and we get water. But when to them people have to go distance to get one bucket or two of water. It's a shame that this is 2026, we're not 2027. Put in the infrastructure. You got money for the book, we do all kind of simplest. Put in the infrastructure so people could get their potable water. Please.
Got you.
Okay. Have the money.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for calling.
The part I like is recognize the fact that we provide the medium.
Yeah. For people to freely express. We don't tell you what to say.
Uncensored.
Uncensored. Love, can I help?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, that's in Salvanova, right?
Yes, sir.
I always try to watch the news. And when the caller makes a call, right, he complains about the water. The whole call it the passage water.
Mm-hmm.
And the passage water I have, but I noticed that when the water settles, it's formed like something gets very hard, like stone lake. So I believe that is sickly people that they get stones in the kidney or other kinds. But I have three types of water: rainwater, which I boil, then the one I buy in gallon, which I just drink it like that. Then water I wash my clothes or anything that needs washing. That's the message I want to give.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for your input, sir.
Yeah, well, in our young days, we used to catch water in a drum and back
I could remember as a young boy growing up on Freetown Road, right? You had to cross the street for full your bucket of water.
I have to go to a standpipe.
You have to go to a standpipe on the street and get up early.
In the dark.
And then you have lines sometime.
But in the dark, you go because you have to go early because the line's long, and then you have to get water for beer and then go to school and everything cooked.
And then you got to leave drum in at the back of your by veranda there or to the back of the house. And you have to get back water from across the street and fill the drum.
And I love when it rains. Because then you get the rain.
When it rains, then the vat catches the water. You're lucky if you have a vat.
Yeah, we used to put the cheese cloth over the drum.
But then you notice the back what you saw, then we waggle.
We just skim that aside.
Yes, but you know that, right? You know that.
Yes, we just skim that aside. That didn't bother us at the time.
We just deal with
that. We just move that on the side and we take. We used to have the we drink it right so. We used to have these milk pan.
We should drink out of milk pan too?
Yes, and make the water cooler, right? So when you come from school
for the young folks that don't know what a milk pan is, we're talking about a condensed milk. Take off the top of the machine the side, right? So and then that would be your cup.
Yeah.
Right? Because you couldn't have you couldn't have a cup, so you condense you don't throw away the condensed milk can, right? And if you do the pet milk, the same thing, you know. That's your drinking vessel.
Keep the water a little cooler. So that was how it felt to us at the time, especially getting home from school around 3:34.
And then
nothing nicer than.
And some of these pipes had the bembe, remember?
Yeah. We used to have the cup there as you greet you, kind of. skim the wiggle waggle, because they've tend to farm, which we know now it's the flying, it's egg and different things there, but it's just, it was stagnant water. Technically, I don't know. Even though it was covered, usually maybe when you lift it up, the clot, the insect must fly.
Thinking about it, those were some rough days, Mr. Trigam.
Thinking about it, but it was good days when it was
happening.
When
we were growing up, I mean, you used to make a truck. I don't know if you.
We didn't want to drink the water from the tap, the pipe water. We wanted the rainwater, but in those days we didn't have no purified water.
You used to make a truck.
Yeah, but the cotton reel.
Yeah. You take the cotton reel, you take the
slingshot,
the bicycle tube.
We shoot maklala, if those persons who know the terminology, which is
and you put the cotton reel and you put this tube on broom and you bring it down and put it on the cotton reel and then you pull the lead truck across the street and get the water.
No, you put your water in there.
That's what I'm saying.
Gallon bottle and or your pigtail bucket.
Yeah.
Yes, I used to have some iron ones. That used to get some of my nerves because it was heavy to back.
Yeah, I remember those buckets indeed.
Yeah. But we got to take a break before we get too nostalgic, right?
Yeah, this is back the water, you go back water.
Somebody say, a lot of them bribe, and when things don't go how they want, then they squeal. I believe that.
33 minutes past 8 and take the break. Well, it's now 37 minutes, make it 38 minutes past 8 o'clock, 8:38 minutos en nuestros estudios, Mr. Troy Gebb. Buenos días.
Yes, the Belize City Council invite tenders to supply 4 battery electric buses for the Belize City E-Ride expansion.
Children expand the E-Ride bus.
So the deadline for submission is the 28th of September 2026. So they're expanding. They have 2, and they're looking to get 4 more.
Yeah.
So that's
Must be working, no? And that's the way to go now, Mr. Troy Gebb, when you think about it. Have you given it some thought?
Well, anything that will improve the condition to the passengers. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that is why public transportation is very essential across the board. We see as it relates to the inter-district transportation, how impactful that has been.
Yeah, local help. It's cheaper.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Mr. Rene.
Morning, how are you?
Mr. Rene. Mr. Rene, morning.
Morning to you.
Yes, not too bad and not too good because I need water, sir.
Oh my, again.
Yes, morning.
Yes, morning, go ahead.
Have a listen to the phone caller.
Mr. Rene, me and my husband are invalid, right? We have to pay for water every week, $30.
Just go ahead and talk, ma'am. Just go ahead and talk.
Yes, and they asked for water. I asked the minister.
What area are you?
Where are you calling from?
Sometimes the truck, we can't get the truck for Orange Walk.
You're calling from Orange Walk?
Cookie Tree cut off.
Cookie Tree cut off. Okay.
And from Cookie Tree cut off.
Okay.
On the right-hand side.
Oh, you can't get the truck to bring you water. We can't in the run pipe way there. Right-hand side. So you go water by bowls or something.
We buy water, we have to buy water, and sometimes the truck not come.
That's it. That's
okay.
it.
We don't have water. We don't have water for cook, nor drink.
Okay.
We get 1 liter and pipe out there. The water rusty.
Yeah, they know
yeah. Okay then, caller. We'll have to check on that
we
area.
We can't do nothing with the water.
Okay. Thanks.
So I really need water because we can't go get it ourselves. He can't walk, I can't walk.
Wow.
Oh my. Okay, we need to find out how the truck schedule works.
Schedule work, yeah, so you could get some water and some neighbors
so
or something.
Please, if they listen to this, please.
Okay.
Cookie tree cut off, lady and husband invalid, and they need what? They need a reliable supply of water.
Yes, on the right-hand side.
So some good Samaritans are in the area there.
Thank you then, caller. We got it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, caller.
Yeah, well, again, water is life, as they say, so we're not going to diminish the need to have potable water.
Yeah, people, need you can't live without
we saw how impactful the issue was in the River Valley when we had this contamination of the water and the fish kill popping up, which is still unresolved to this point. I mean, we understand that we had some big rains and so on. There might have been some sort of flushing that may have occurred, which is helpful.
Yeah. Love, can I help?
Morning, Rennie. Morning, Troy.
Yeah, yes, morning, girl.
Once for all, Troy and Rennie, it's frustrating, man, with the Albert Street taxi stand. Like when some people call a lot, and I called several times, but complain about the taxi stand. And Troy that tell me, go through, man, continue call, then they listen, but I don't know what kind of ears and they listen with, because it sound like that deaf ears in the use. Because the place get out of hand in Rennie and Troy. I don't know, it's the electric bus now, I want to talk about the increased span. We have a problem if I pick up our fare out of the taxi stand. The passenger have to sit down and wait with me till when the bus feel like move. Because the bus, they put one bus stop now, right where the taxi stand supposed to be. It's like no taxi stand again.
So you black you for moving?
He kind of disrespectful to it. Yeah, like, actually you can't move till when the bus move. And you get a passenger, you have to wait. Then when we get out of the taxi stand, for the traffic department, vehicles park on the taxi stand, truck park on it, everything park on Albert Street taxi stand now. Sometimes we get there, we ain't got one space to get in. We have to stay in the middle of the road till when somebody feel like come out, when they beckon to them. No, I don't understand what happened. And they give you a ticket for parking 30 feet less, 30 feet from the corner of the lanes. Church Street have that problem right there when they allow one taxi, they call taxi stand. And nobody have nothing to do with that. The city council look like now they lease or rent the sidewalk right adjacent to the Heritage Bank. One long stall, they don't want to move at all. They have one watchman, they look like they pay for watch that, and they have the goods cover up, and that they did permanently now. All the things that people complain about and nothing is being done. They cut and they collect from the people that they use the sidewalks and things like that.
Oh, I wasn't
That's
aware.
close to the market square, again, the Finnegan Market. They actually allow people to use the bridge, so the bridge they close off per market days also. You can't use the bridge there again. All the kind of things. Several sidewalks and things are being used by vendors, and apparently the city council welcome it because then they collect funding. It's kind of ridiculous. Albert Street gone to hell now, man, because everything out of Adam on Albert Street.
Okay.
You know? And apparently the traffic wardens, they're not got no power again. Because then they tell you they only sanction certain people. Because if they go sanction certain people, then they could could lose their job. That out of 100 man every day, and that they happen up to now. The taxi stand, the no Albert Street taxi stand again. For original taxi stand, all the man like Mr. Panley and the old guys I'm used to the day. My memory, I said they must turn up for the engrave to see how Albert Street taxi stand turn. They give peace to the bank, and we can't do nothing about it. Yeah. Nothing we complain, and nobody come out and do nothing.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Okay, thanks for calling.
You know, for me, I am very old school. That piece of street that they closed off and turned it into the park that used to turn by Brody's there.
Yeah.
I thought that was a mistake made then. You know, it kind of, it kind of took away the kind of closeness that Albert Street had created to kind of just turn around, especially maybe for those taxi drivers as well, because they didn't gain anything much by that happening other than just expanding the park, which is not a park that little piece of road there didn't do any justice. It kind of isolate the park. The park would have been like was there like a central location, so people could have go 360 in terms of traffic and movement.
It was a training ground for the regiment, you know.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it used to have that 360 view until they block it off.
Battlefield Park.
Yeah, you know.
How can I help?
Morning again.
Morning.
The worst mistake that has been made out at Albert Street is when they took away the street that runs from Orange Street across towards where the old market was, right in front of Belize Bank, and gave it to Belize Bank, or sold it to Belize Bank, because nobody should give away government property or sell government property because the street is government property. That is the worst mistake, and even cause traffic to be even so much worse when the traffic used to go right across there and go across the bridge. That is a completely big mistake. It's a foolish mistake. Okay. And who have done it, well, I hope they realize or think that they have done something very, very stupid to the city. That caused about $1 million of gas wasted going around through King Street. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, there you have it, is that those situations, you know, and like I said, if you weren't around before, well, it doesn't matter to you.
Doesn't matter.
But us who had experienced it before certainly could appreciate the convenience it created, the kind of closeness it created, a sort of more energy. You know, to me, it created that energy because people tend to move more freely because of how the traffic was flowing. And so, you know, call me nostalgic if you wanna, but it was a concern I had then, and I still felt that, you know, it's something that I didn't feel it create any progress. It didn't add any value to doing it by removing it. It didn't create anything new, quite honestly. But it happened way back some 10, 12 years ago, and we didn't see anything then, you know, and so it happened. And so, as they would say, we're stuck with it now. We're stuck with it now. You know, another thing that you brought up in the news is this: the issue of bees seem to be popping up, and we don't seem to have an answer or a clear way how to deal with bees. One way or the other.
They're very aggressive.
You know, the story run was in Belmopan. But we have had situation where just recently a young lady drowned because she was running from the bees in the area on the Philip Golson Highway. So when I heard that story again, I thought, you know, we have to have a policy, a clear policy that everybody understands what it is, how we deal with it, and somebody have to be responsible.
Well, there has to be some education given to us, so what to do and what not to do when you meet a swarm of bees.
Morning.
How can I help?
Morning, guys. I want do all the promotion, man. Our lead sports day. We got a Third World Field Sunday, the 23rd of August.
Tell me.
Dion Pussy Flowers.
Yes, Pussy.
We are starting 10:30 Sunday, the 23rd. We're going through till about 5:30. We are got U12, U14, U17. We ask people to come out the football parliament because you are a good day for the youth stay back at Third World, because nothing on the Third World long time. The youth need to show some love.
Okay.
The football family.
Love is everywhere.
Because we need, and then we actually support our thing up to Sunday. Any donation, they could go drop it right downstairs at St. Martin's Parish or anything where they got. We, when we walk out, give us our school bag that day, anything to the kids, mingle up with the picnic in the area. No problem.
Excellent.
Back at the area, they safe. We know how people think that the area they are safe thing, because we do work the area for long, Third World at St. Martin's area. They safe. That just a coincidence happens. So we just do a day for we leave our coach, our mentor, our friend, our legend. Put in all for the area there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That is St. Martin's field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I Third World.
I know it. So far area.
All right.
All right, Pussy. If the line open tomorrow, call again.
Yes, man, and we could promote it for you, of course.
My number is 605-1218.
605
1218.
1218. Yeah, if the line's open again tomorrow.
Send it to me. They could go right down here. The pirates are left for we are still receiving it as our fun day for the kids in Martins.
Yeah, man.
If they got to bag anything, thanks, Fred.
Yes, sir. All right, cool, man.
Good.
Yes, yeah.
Good to promote these things, you know, these community efforts.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I'm familiar with the area. You know, my semi-pro basketball team practiced quite a lot during this season at Swift Hall, so I'm familiar with that area quite often in the night time.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Chief, and good morning, Mr. Troy.
Good morning.
I want to talk
whole week I don't hear you.
Hey, I did tell you, I will try call, but apparently, me have more callers before me, no?
Yeah, we're going to take a call at a time.
I did call about the results, and I know you know the results.
That's why I love.
and what I want to say is that
I hear that you cause it.
You know what happened? You know what happened after the result, sir?
No.
Somebody from the office come and tell me that they will fix Santa Maria Street.
Yeah, that's
so
what I
all
tell
this
you.
while they are bad enough to come and tell you because they're afraid now that the results come in my favor. They are now reaching out to me to tell me about Santa Maria, which is good. But I want to say that the voters told those who, especially the incumbent mayor, we appreciate your service.
Bengo, I hear that 3 days of
appreciate your
3
service,
days of celebration
and
you have.
we wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Yeah, right.
Thank you very much, Mr.
For callers or consistent listeners, we know that Bengo Shea always has been campaigning to get the street fixed called Santa Maria Street, and feel that he wasn't getting the support. So I believe he wasn't a good friend of the outgoing mayor.
Love, can I help?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I want to discuss about that recent shooting in Biloxi. That to me was very disturbing because to hear that a police officer went around and wait until everything clear before he got in, that was very unprofessional for police though. I don't know what kind of police they train right now, but police is supposed to protect people and property, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you got police there, you'll feel more comfortable or police there won't protect you. But it seemed to me that police go and pick up people when they're dead and then beat up the one they think do it. But if you're there in that area when things happen, why can't you defend the people, man? That's what the police is there for, unless they use the military. Because that, to me, was a shame for a police to do that. And if they kind of police there, they're in the job, you need to let them go and get some police who are real police. Because that's not a real police.
Yeah.
You see? So I don't know if you guys see the same thing I saw. But that, look good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's all I got to say.
Thank you, Paolo. Thanks. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, the police comes from our society, it's one of us. We always urge that good sense be employed. But I want to say this because I didn't get an opportunity to say it. Sometimes I've seen some unedited videos, oftentimes where the level of disrespect and antagonistic behavior that the public shows toward the police, especially sometimes when they're looking to do their job, they do a lot of obstruction and a lot of insults and disrespect. That's not necessary.
Yeah, will it change if you tell them thank you for what work you do?
Something like that is not necessary. And the other thing is, I see these videos popping up often with female fighting and so, and people are standing around videoing and different things like that.
No.
I don't know. Again, I'm not going to put it on everybody, but I'm just saying it is a bit distasteful. I saw one that occurred, may have been Sunday evening, for that matter. I know the police was there, but it took a while to kind of get the matter quelled, no?
This will be the last call, yeah? Love, can I help?
You ready, Troy? Just quickly, as a caller mentioned, incident at the Finnegan Market, no? Last night, I was shown something on the Facebook pertaining to that. Because somebody called me, asked me if the person was related to me, because the little fellow name is something Robinson, right? And I told him no, and they showed me the whole thing on Facebook, where there was indeed a police officer there, and he was explaining to me that the police officer was equipped with a weapon also. And I think if he had acted, they show him and then point on him the flick while, and he explained it to me that he was running away, like he looked for run for cover, right? And then this time, apparently the guy was only shot one time. I think mainly the fatal shot was to his neck, where it's supposed to affect the windpipe or something like that.
Yeah.
But if that was prevented, that the police had drawn a weapon and maybe shot this guy or do something to disarm him, probably that would have been prevented.
This is shown on Facebook. You see plainly, and then point out that see the policeman and the police they run like he ain't going for cover, and he was also understand equipped. That's why I understand he was equipped with a weapon.
Yeah.
So man, we don't need police officers like that. Like if you say you only want one job, and as far as you're concerned, a coward, business in that kind of job. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a view.
That's his view.
Very quickly, Bengo, if you listen, they have been told by the PG Town Council that work commence on Cemetery Street. Yeah, concrete, and they are cementing it, no? This coming week, and then from Magoon Park area towards the PG Hospital. And then there is going to be a portion of Pampana Street as well that will be improved.
Okay.
This is all in PG. So
things happen to PG.
Things they happen. So Santa Maria Street and everything seem to will be covered in that. So hopefully that's going to be one less issue that will come up for the municipal in March of next year.
Yeah.
So the important thing is that they're listening and they're responding and giving us updates as it relates to some of those circumstances. But coming back to the issue of the bees, Chief, I don't know what the protocol is, but there has to be a protocol in place, a level of education in place, because we seem to be having a frequent amount of these encounters.
Yeah.
And some of them are deadly. Again, they're saying then they're going to be Ogalde Street for those who are happen, and then the last portion of Clement Street with the junction in front of George Price Street. So those are further update coming out of the PG Town Council. Mm-hmm. So I'm just reading it off for viewers and listeners. I know we have a big audience down in Toledo.
Punta Gorda and the Toledo district on a whole.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. And which encompass.
So we salute whole
well,
of Belize, really.
Well, Chief, we are at that
9
time.
9 o'clock, Mr. Troy Gab.
Yes, we
Let me just say, before we go to try, I need to offer some words of sympathy to those who have lost loved ones recently. But there are two that I would like to mention. You can't mention all, but so that's why I offer general
Pick
sympathy.
your two.
But the two here are Miss Alison Thompson, who passed away at the age of 99.
Okay.
99. That's
Condolences.
A good life. Condolences. That's Doug Thompson's mom.
Mm-hmm.
A relative of mine. Through my father's side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And also famous one and only Bertie Ellis,
yes,
who lived to be 109 plus years.
Yeah, we spoke about that last week.
Yeah, we spoke about that last week. But he'll be laid to rest this weekend as well. Those two will be laid to rest this weekend.
Yes. He was 109 years old.
109 years old. Imagine Mr. Troy Gab.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think there was someone that lived 108. I can't bring the name right now.
May have been a female.
I think it's a
vaguely
female.
I remember.
Yeah, vaguely I remember that too.
Yeah, indeed.
But to those who have lost loved ones,
condolences go across
the board.
Yeah, indeed.
And so on. But anyway, we need to close out now.
Yes, sir. It's a minute after 9 o'clock. I want to thank Rafael Roberts for doing a good job as usual on Love FM. I want to thank our master control operator who has returned today on this hump day, William Usher. Didn't nail the 11, it seems as though, Chief.
He says he doesn't buy much Bolito during the week.
During the week, indeed. He go for the big one. The big ones. No one $350, want $11.
Yeah, he wants to win big.
Or the jackpot, which is $110.
Yeah.
We want to thank our producer.
A lot of us buy Bolito.
Yes, man. Almost $130 million worth of Bolito is bought every year.
And it goes to any China.
Yeah, the profits.
The profits.
The
net profits.
It's shared.
It's like a business. You have to pay out. Well, you have to pay out the winnings out of the same thing. Amount of money we make when people buy.
About 70% goes to the winners. And then the rest is for operations and distribution.
Yeah.
As well as our producer, I want to thank our producer, Richard Herbert, and Manuela Ayuso, and Andrew Jones for streaming, all those behind the scene who made this show possible, as well as our callers who were our guests this morning. They made the show interesting, and we certainly continue to urge you, and we continue to promise as best as we can that we will continue to always try to serve you in that capacity with the open line so we could have these sort of discussions. Of course, you, our viewers and listeners, throughout the length and breadth of this beautiful Joel of ours, we thank you for tuning in as well as those streaming. We're glad you could join us. And we always say, come back again tomorrow, where we hope to do this all over again just for you. Again, if you're celebrating a birthday today on the 19th day of August, we say happy birthday. If you're doing
happy birthday month too.
Yes, somebody said to say hello to Maria Abeles, who's celebrating her birthday today. So I want to wish her all the best, and we trust that today will be an enjoyable one, a hump day.
Yeah. Okay, Troy, well, let me leave you at the start, Mr. Troy. You know, 0 is where things even out, right? At the number 0. Things start 0, 1, 2, 3, and you go 0, right? Well, positive
balance.
Yeah. Well,
everything
positive versus negative, right? Positive is obviously anything that's above the 0, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going up. That's positive, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going down. That's negative, right? Because you're going. That's the other side of the 0, right? So positive is what we should aim for, because if we don't aim to be positive, then we are aiming to go in the other direction.
Yes, sir.
Make sense?
Going wrong.
You're going wrong. So we always have to aim to be positive. You know, regardless of what you're doing, regardless of how everything, you have to aim to be positive, because positive means that you'll move forward. Negative means that you move backwards. Positive means you move up. Negative means that you move down, right? So it's up to you. If you want to move down, well, then you continue being negative.
Yes.
You want to move up, then you start to look at things
go
in a
below
positive
the line
way, right? So being positive, you don't mean that you know the negative. It's always there. The best comparison.
Usually when you're in the water, there's more of you underwater than is out the water. So it's only need for your mouth and nose to be out, and you should be all right. So as long as that is happening, that little bit of positive is keeping
you hold on to that.
All that negative alive and can get you to survival. So there goes the analogy.
Yeah. Well, of course, and because say love is positive, always positive, right? To love is always positive. To hate is negative, because it's so easy to do. So to hate is negative, but to love is always
love,
positive.
not hate.
Love, don't hate. Love, don't hate, right? And choose to love at all times. So when you choose to love, we'll always say to you, Belize and beyond, thanks for choosing love.
Happy hump day.
Good morning, Belize, and good morning. I say good morning, Belize, and good morning. And how are you this morning?
Go to work one day.